Welcome to Bleav in 76ers with your hosts, former 76ers point guard Eric Snow and two Sixers fanatics in Marcus and Teja Dash. Bleav in 76ers is presented by betonline.ag.
BetOnline continues to be the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting in 2025. Whether you're a seasoned fan or a first-time bettor, BetOnline is your ultimate game day companion. With the largest selection of odds on everything from football, the NBA, college basketball to NHL and UFC, BetOnline is the number one sports betting source for the new year. From touchdowns to three-pointers and hat tricks, BetOnline has you covered on every game, every play, and every win. BetOnline, the game starts here. Want to make some quick cash and have fun during the NFL playoffs? Well, it's time to embrace your inner underdog. Over the last 3 weeks, we have given 11 selections, and we have cashed on 10 of those, predicting higher or lower on multiple different player statistics. So we are ready to continue this heater into the playoffs. So if you have yet to download the Underdog app, do so now and get free cash. Click the link in the description or use promo code CHIEFCONCERNS, one word, to claim your free pick plus first-time deposit offer up to $1,000 in bonus cash. It's NFL playoff season, so let's continue to keep the good vibes in 2025. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Bleav in 76ers podcast. I'm Marcus Dash here with legendary 76ers point guard Eric Snow and my brother Teja Dash. Guys, we've taken kind of a hiatus here just because I feel like the Sixers have kind of taken a hiatus over the last 2 weeks, losing six games over the since our last show. So yeah, we decided, so the team's doing that, we're going to do that. But nonetheless, we got a lot to get into on this episode today. But yeah, let's kind of begin. So Sixers, like I said, currently on a 6-game losing streak, standing at 15-26, and are currently 2.5 games outside the 10 spot, which is the Chicago Bulls own that last and final play-in spot. The next 11 games might be the toughest stretch we'll have all season. Every single team we are playing is in the playoffs or in a play-in. Obviously, there are many Sixers fans who want to shut down Embiid and tank, and they've been saying that for a couple of weeks now, even before this losing streak. But the NBA trade deadline times up with the 9th game of this 11-game stretch. So my question to you all is, when we get to that 9th game of the stretch, what would our record have to look like for you to say tank and sell at the deadline as opposed to being buyers and going for the final playoff spot?
It's a little conflicting for me right now because the way we're playing and the way we're going, if guys aren't going to play, you might as well throw in the towel. Now, and no matter how it looks, if guys aren't going to play or able to play. But if I had to kind of guess on the number, I would say if we're still within reach to the play-in, you maybe still go for it. Because if you're within reach of the play-in and guys aren't playing, if you feel confident that they'll come back and play a significant part of the rest of the season, then yeah, you kind of go for it. But if what happens as far as the next few weeks looks how I believe it's going to look, not trying to be negative, but if Joel can't finish the season, we're not winning championships without him. So if he can't finish the season, at some point you got to be realistic and address that and address what the future is going to look like, immediate future is going to look like, and just call it a season.
Quick question about what you said. How do you, besides guys not playing, how do you do that though? I mean, do you send out a memo like, hey, stop trying? I mean, how do you really say turn off your playoff intensity? Or do you just do that?
That's tough. One in the league, you're not supposed to anymore do that. What you'll see inconsistency with guys playing. You'll see younger guys playing. You'll see the rotation grow. But most guys they don't want their numbers to decrease because teams will use that against them. So you'll see guys out of the lineup more so than minutes drop. just not play at all. So, and then as the season goes on, there's these injuries that, will have people out for extended amount of time or out for the rest of the season with 5 games. You know what I'm saying? You kind of, that would be the approach. It can be done. I mean, people, you just have to report the injuries, or sometimes it's injuries, but it's probably an injury that he could have or would have played if it was a little more meaningful. But it's hard because to me, it's like, it's not one of those things where it's like, okay, someone kind of like hurt their shoulder and they can't play for the rest of the year because they're kind of out. And you kind of know, like, okay, well, that's unfortunate, but you're 100% confident that that person's coming back. This, like, it's been so much uncertainty that we don't really know. Like I've shared on here multiple times my history with the same injury that Joel has. So that's why I said I wish it's nothing like that, but I've said it before, like, it's like everything I do to this day. Like I said, I know it's things that I can do with losing weight and stuff like that to help it, losing more weight and stuff. But even before then, it was still the same situation. When I was still playing, it was still swelling up. So I'm really concerned. I'm really concerned for that standpoint. So that makes it even tougher because my concern for his injury than my concern for if the team is going to, if you're going to try to move forward, like, what are you going to do? Because we really don't know how this is going to end. We don't really know which direction this is going to go. So I'm leaning more now on trying to get the best young group you can get, however you can get it.
Yeah.
So, obviously Cooper Flagg is the, quote unquote number 1 pick for next year. I don't know if that's within reach. Might be worth a try.
Whew. So right now we are closer. To keep our pick, we have to realistically probably be like the 5th worst record in the league. Because even if you have the 6th worst record in the league, I think it's like someone posted a chart recently. I think the percentages in the 20s to get that pick. It's still not very high, or 30s.
Yeah.
So realistically, you're looking at one get 4th or 5th worst record. Washington, I think, is running away with it with the 6 wins overall. I don't think it's going to be able to catch them. After that, you have Toronto and Utah, both 10 wins. That's doable. We'd have to really play. But see, the problem is they're both pretty much tanking too. Like, they're not trying to win anything. And then you have Charlotte 11-28, another team in a similar boat. New Orleans at 12-32. That's a team that could pass.
I mean, their thing is they're saying if their guys play, they'll win.
Yes, they're very similar to us, right? But they're coming off 4 straight, so they only had 8 wins. Wow, like a week or 2 ago. That's crazy. So they could pass us if we just keep playing the way we play, and they play even a little better. They're only 3.5 games behind us at this point. And then you have Portland.
Well, I mean, they did beat us, right?
Yes. Yeah.
That started.
Portland and the Nets. So 2 teams up and down. They're just more typical bad teams who are just inconsistent in their play. They don't really have any crazy. They do have guys that keep sitting out. Simmons just keeps sitting out. D'Angelo Russell, they don't give consistent minutes. I think he's a injury concern too. So they're not. But we are closer to that. We're closer to the Nets right now than we are to the Bulls for the 10th seed. I think that's what it comes down to in the end. What are you closer to? Are you closer to getting the 5th worst record in the league or the 10th seed?
Yeah.
And after this grueling schedule, I cannot see how we're closer to the 10th seed after this, unless Chicago keeps losing. Because I don't know what do they just want to give you a 10th seed again? I mean, I would expect them to want to lose too.
They have a top 10 protected pick, so
Yeah.
the Bulls fans want them to lose.
Yeah. So, I mean, if they keep losing too, then we can get closer with the Bulls, and someone can step up and get that 10th seed.
Yeah.
And if we get the 10th seed, then what? We beat Detroit. We play Miami for the 8th seed. We beat Miami. Play Cleveland in the first round with, I don't know what Joel's situation is going to be by then. I mean, he took weeks off because of his foot sprain. And then all of a sudden they said his knee swelling was back after taking like 2 weeks off to rest his foot.
I don't want to say anyone's not telling the truth.
I mean, like,
I don't want to say that. I don't want to say it like that. But they're making it hard to believe this stuff. I'll say that.
it just doesn't make any sense.
You took all that time off, and then the one workout you have, your knee blows up. If that's the case, that's hard to believe. But two, if that's the case, that brings more concern for me.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
That you take time off and then you come back and you have a setback.
After a workout?
Like I said, I know what that looks like. And when that looked like for me was I was done. So I'm not trying to go that route, but I have to say that, because I've said it before, I know what this looks like. Like all the signs. He has all the signs. So they need to correct it or do something. I know they have different procedures and technology than they had. When mine happened was 17 years ago when I had mine. So I know technology and all this stuff has changed since then. So
they're going to have some uncomfortable conversations if they're not even starting them yet, because forget about this year. I mean, how does this get better if we rest you for 2 to 3 weeks and you work out once and your knee's back to swelling? I mean, how can you play a season's 82 games? Forget the MVP threshold. How do we get you ready for the playoffs? Even if we rested you for 3 months before the playoffs, apparently your knee swelling's going to come back after one workout. So what are we supposed to do? It's just, I don't know. It's scary.
I will be interested. I'll be interested to know how much of his injury do they feel is just pain tolerance? Like, I will be very interested to know. Like,
that'd be a great
what
question.
The doctors are truly saying. Because my how can I say this? He plays, and you can see that he's hobbling. But then he plays, and you don't see where anything in particular happens. But then he's out.
Yeah.
So I think they just messed us up from the beginning, man. Just not knowing what we're not reporting what's really happening and holding him out, and he's coming back, he's not coming back, planning the Olympics. With this right now, you have to say that wasn't a good decision.
Oh, 100%. I mean, I'm glad he got his gold and everything, but
yeah, they probably could have got him a gold as on the IR list. Say he's on the roster and injury won't prevent him from playing, but he's going to still be on the team. I mean, why can't they do that?
Yeah.
Well, why couldn't they do that?
Yeah. I mean,
yeah. And the left foot sprain thing is odd in itself because he gets the left foot sprain during that Boston game. Then he plays the next 4 games and then out for 2 weeks for the, weird.
But we don't know when he's coming back, so we don't know how much longer he's going to be out.
No clue.
So he's still out with whatever, with the injury, which is now a different injury from when he initially went out.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, he'll be reevaluated in a couple days. Yeah.
I mean, this would all make a lot more sense if I found out behind the scenes they were just trying to tank. It's like, we're just trying to jump from injury to injury, but we just don't want him to play again this season.
Well, I mean, to me, from what he's gone through, Don't they think they have a case to just do that? Like, what do you have to juck and jive for?
I think it'd be better if they did that. It'd be more honest because you got people maybe planning to buy a ticket a month away or 2 months away thinking, oh, Joel will be healthy for that game finally. If he's being reevaluated in a week, I'm giving it a month and a half. He should be okay by then.
I don't know how you can buy a ticket and say that.
No, I know. Oh, yeah, believe me.
I don't. You can't because they're not allowing anything.
No.
The only way you can say that is if, they established that we're trying to make the playoffs. Like, then maybe you could do that. But until then, I don't know. Like, we don't even know when Paul is playing.
Yeah, he might play tonight. Questionable for tonight's game. At least a couple hours ago.
What is his injury? Still his knee?
Yeah.
And Caleb Martin's injury is what?
Still his shoulder? What is it now? Caleb Martin.
He's hip. It's a hip injury.
Hip.
Yeah. Hip. And Paul George is groin, by the way.
Groin.
Yeah.
And Kyle Lowry and
hip. Drummond toe. Yabusele knee. The whole anatomy. We're gonna go up and down the whole body.
And all of those guys are like what, questionable for today, except for Joel?
Lowry's out. I think the rest are questionable. Oh, Lowry and Martin are out. The rest are questionable.
Yeah.
KJ Martin is still out.
Yep. Yeah, he's out.
Well, he's a guy that could be traded, right? Because of the salary thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, he probably going to stay out because of that.
Yep. Yeah, and a lot of people, some Sixers fans are speculating that Yabusele's out for potentially being traded. A lot of fans want us to trade him to OKC to lift that protection so we can just have that pick outright.
I read you can't do that though.
What do you mean?
I read that there's too much that pick's connected to too many like trades now. They couldn't do that anymore.
Wow. All right. Well, gosh.
They can't just trade the pick back.
Sounds easy to do.
It sounds really easy to do. I don't think they can do that though. Let me try to find it. I just saw it. Yeah, let me see. Yeah, Sixers will be unable to reacquire or change the protections of the top 6 protected first-round pick over to the OKC Thunder. This is because other picks and swaps were later traded that could be affected by what happens with this pick. So the pick will either land with the top 6 or it will be OKC's.
Rest in peace. So there goes that.
So you got lose bad.
Yep.
Like Magic said a long time ago, if you're going to be bad, be really bad. So don't play around with it. You got to do it. You got to commit to it.
We'll see how these next 9 games or next 11 games go. But all right, so before we get to the game picks, some of the bright spots throughout this bad, rough streak have been getting the playing time. Some of the young guys, the Justin Edwards of the world, Adem Bona extended minutes, Ricky Council extended minutes. And a lot of fans are saying because Justin Edwards looking so good that you can trade Oubre, you can trade some of the wings that we have to give him some minutes. What have you guys made of some of the young bucks who have been getting playing time? The Justin Edwards, Adem Bona, Ricky Council. What have you guys seen from them that you like?
I like that they're taking advantage of their opportunity. They're competing, playing hard, and trying to do all they can to help the team and help the team win. So that's encouraging. I mean, that allows you to build depth in your roster, take a look at guys, make some decisions if you need to, like you said, move some guys. But it definitely, it's a positive having those guys get that, that quality play because we've seen how it helped McCain when he was playing. So it definitely helps. That's not what we were anticipating for the season, but it does help to kind of get looks at guys and they gain some valuable experience.
all the guys that want to trade the other players to get these guys more playing time. Those are probably also the guys who kind of want to tank, right? Those are the guys who want to just lose as many games as possible. I'm assuming. That's the one positive you have, is that you get to see what your young depth looks like. Because we don't know what's going to happen after this year, especially after we do go full tank and trade some guys. These guys will need to be part of a depth rotation. I'd say all three guys are extremely confident. I like that they're aggressive. I also like that I don't notice them overextending and trying to do too much in order to impress the coaching. I think they're playing within their means. We've seen Council. He's extremely athletic. Shown a hot hand too. He's going 6 for 14 from 3 his last 2 games. Yeah. And Edwards is pretty consistent. I don't see him making bonehead plays. I never find myself yelling at the screen, and I usually have a "there you go, Edwards" once in a while. Bonus pretty much as advertised. He can rebound, he can block some shots. He takes high percentage shots, so high that he hasn't missed since January 8th. 13 of 13 in that time. So he has to get his foul trouble under control. I mean, he fouled out in 24 minutes against the Bucks, but guarding Giannis will, part of it, most of the time will do that to you. But overall, very encouraging.
Yeah, Justin Edwards is a Philadelphia guy, so a lot of the Philly fans are big fans of the fact that we got a guy who's Philly born and bred. He's dominating, so
it's cool.
Yep. All right, so our final topic for our next show. We only have one game for our next show, and it's gonna be a good one. It's on TNT for the whole world to see, which is great. But we have the Nuggets, and we are going to be at Denver, and we are a 13.5 point underdog tonight at Denver. Do you think there's a chance the Sixers will cover the spread, or is it going to be another doozy?
Bloodbath.
I say we cover. Denver's been playing better. They haven't really been beating teams by 20 and 30 like some teams. My concern is the conditioning in Denver, especially playing a lot of new guys. That was my hesitation, but maybe we get a couple guys back and that helps. So I'll say that we lose but cover.
I think it's a game that we look to be in it for a while, but then I think Denver blows open in the end to go over 13.5. Like to be more optimistic. They have Murray coming back tonight. He's playing. He's probable. If they keep us in the game, just because they're playing down to competition, and we get hot. But I just can't see us staying within that, which is crazy because 13.5 points is a lot. I mean, it would help if we have George and some other guys back, but at this point, not knowing who we have it's just so hard to say we're going to.
I mean, they were on the road, so it's a chance. They were on the bench, so it's a chance.
That's true. Yeah,
last game, so we'll see.
That's true. Yeah, but we got tough stretch, man. It's a tough stretch coming.
It is a tough stretch. I do feel like it's one of those games where we're down by a decent amount in the fourth quarter, and they keep Jokic and all those guys in there to stat pad and do their thing when they're already up 15 with like 5 minutes to go.
Yeah.
I hope not, but yeah. But all right, guys. Well, that does it for us. We hope everybody enjoyed the episode, and we hope everyone enjoyed the fact that we're back from our little hiatus here, and hopefully the Sixers snap out of it and they come back from their hiatus. So we'll see you guys Friday. Take it easy, fellas.
All right. Take it easy.